The one question that's been asked often over the past 10 days is, why does the government of India not put out a Red Corner Interpol notice against Lalit Modi? Why can't we go out and arrest him? I want to introduce now to the newsroom R.K. Raghavan, former director of the Central Bureau of Investigation, the nodal agency for dealing with the Interpol in India. And he will put into context how this system works, because there's a lot of noise in other channels. There's very little sense being distilled. Welcome, Mr. Raghavan. We're very happy to have you with us on the newsroom this evening. Now, question number one, why haven't yet we been able to put out a red corner notice against Lalit Modi? Despite the charges against him, why is he still a free man, sir?
This works like this. None of us has even a ghost of an idea as to what evidence has the Enforcement Directorate been able to unravel or marshal. So it is just possible that the Enforcement Directorate is not confident that they have collected enough evidence to justify the issue of a red corner notice. It is just a conjecture, because none of us is wise, because Enforcement Directorate naturally will not share such information with any of us. Even with government, they can always tell government, no, it's a confidential matter of investigation. It's only we alone have the right to have access to it. So it's just possible they have not been able to collect enough information to justify a red corner notice. This is my conjecture.
What do you think the government of India ought to be doing? Because even if a red corner notice is put out against Lalit Modi, there's no guarantee that he'll be arrested and extradited back to India. We already have the Ravi Shankaran case from the Navy War Room Leaks case. There's also Shravan, who's an accused in the Gulshan Kumar murder case. Both have red corner notices, and yet we're unable to bring them back.
You must remember that one ground on which you can issue a red corner notice is that there should be a case in court and a warrant, a non-bailable warrant issued by a court. Only that will trigger action to issue a red corner notice. As far as I know, no warrant is pending against Lalit Modi. And that is why thinking of a red corner notice is too premature at this stage.
No, so what should happen next? You've got people wondering what happens next in this investigation. The government is saying we are coming down hard on him, but they're doing nothing. Enforcement Directorate officials tell us we've been asked to prepare files, we are waiting for a green signal. That green signal hasn't happened. So there's a lot of noise, but what ought to be happening? If you were leading the investigation in this case, Mr. Raghavan, what would you do next?
Thanks a lot. We are not aware how much evidence has been collected. It is not, and then unless you are charging that the Enforcement Directorate, at the instance of the government, at least you are hinting that because the government has not given a green signal, the Enforcement Directorate is not moving forward. This is again the realm of conjectures. The Enforcement Directorate is an independent investigation agency in respect of economic offences. It is they who should take the lead. Once they have enough evidence on hand, they should move the court in which a case has been registered and issue a red corner notice. Another point, you must remember that the Interpol is not a police agency as many people believe. It is a mere clearinghouse of information. It can assist you whenever you're in trouble and not getting enough information of the activities of a suspect abroad. Second, if you're not able to locate a person whom you want abroad, you can invoke the assistance of the Interpol and try to locate this person. So now here in this case, all of us know Lalit Modi is happily sitting in London. So the question of locating him does not arise. Now the only option for the Enforcement Directorate is to collect information, then issue a red corner notice. But first, preceding that, they should obtain a warrant. If all of us know, Lalit Modi has refused to come to India to assess the investigation. So if the Enforcement Directorate feels that his action in not coming to India is unjustified, they should move the court, obtain a non-bailable warrant, on basis of which they can issue a red corner notice, as also approach the British government. My information is that there is a treaty, mutual treaty of 2 treaties with UK, One is treaty of mutual legal assistance. The second is one of extradition.
Okay.
So if the Enforcement Directorate feels that there is enough evidence, he can seek extradition. That you can't do overnight. You have to prepare the case, go through the CBI, which represents Interpol here. Then a letter goes to the British Home Office through our External Affairs Ministry. There is a particular section which deals with this aspect. So they should make a request to the British government, and then only the whole thing will get triggered.
And I'm very glad that we were able to get you on the newsroom this evening, because you've been able to put in context what the government ought to be doing, what the Enforcement Directorate ought to be doing, and what they haven't been doing. Mr. R.K. Raghavan, former director of the CBI, for joining us on this broadcast this evening. Thank you very much. If the ED is unhappy with the fact that Lalit Modi is not coming to India, they can move to court, demand a non-bailable warrant against him, put out a red corner notice. But for that, they need evidence against Lalit Modi. And only if they have evidence which can be upheld and argued satisfactorily in a London court can the ED move. Otherwise, they'll have egg on their face. And currently, they're not moving. And that really raises the question, what holds them back? If he's as big a fugitive as he's made out to be, if he's as big a criminal as he's made out to be, well, you've had 5 years, Enforcement Directorate, get on with it now. If you don't, it raises multiple questions.